Are you over 50 and just want to chuck your old life and reinvent yourself, but you aren't sure you can do that? Are you so comfortable in your current world that you're afraid to risk trying anything new? I'm Cheryl Grace, and you might want to join me every second and fourth Sunday of each month as I help my Career 2.0 mentee spread her wings toward a new profession on Live from the Pink Couch.
Last week, we had a little bit of an issue because you hadn't done your homework assignment as it was assigned. And I felt like it was a bit of a missed opportunity for you. You were supposed to post 2 to 3 images of your own work a week, which would have been 6 to 12 posts by the end of our time. And you posted, as I recall, 83 times, but only 3 of those were of your own work. And let me back up and tell people a little bit about you. So Jacqueline is our Career 2.0 mentee, and she has had an entire fabulous career already in the automotive industry and decided at the age of 55 to reinvent herself and come back as a photojournalist. And so she's been going to Columbia College in Chicago, and she graduates in May, which is just next month. She graduates in May with the degree in photojournalism. Her Pink Elephant goal is to work for a reputable media entity such as Chicago Tribune or Associated Press, and she wants to land that job by September of 2020. So 5 months after she graduates. And so her homework assignment was to start putting her work out there. And you didn't do it last week. So we sent you back to the drawing board again this week, Jacqueline. And I have noticed a huge difference. Tell me about the work you've been doing.
Well, what I've been doing in light of the pandemic and realizing this is the perfect opportunity to just kind of like the narrative, will post the pictures that tell the story of this pandemic going back to, I started out with going back to March 15th, because that was kind of like a day that I just spent out in the city, even though in one part of my mind, I knew it was not the right thing to do. It wasn't safe, but the photojournalist in me is like, no, you keep going. And so I've been posting pictures that kind of tell that story. And now this week, I'm ready to move on to the next week, starting into the election, until I get caught up with where we are now. And so I really, I took the stats between LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I have done 53 posts.
Woohoo! Over a 2-week period, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so 53 posts. And then also kind of reverting, I kind of did some experimenting in which I really appreciate you critiquing me on things. Like, I love to write. So I kind of started out doing some creative writing, but then you really hit home with my pictures are powerful enough without some of the writing, because it kind of makes you think. It's too cryptic. So it's like, okay, I kind of went back, cleaned that up, and then changed that moving forward. And I've just noticed a big difference. It's a big difference.
I try not to be too hard on any of you guys. I don't know if you believe that or not, but I really do try not to be too hard. But I think I am a representative of individuals who are on the receiving end of your creativity, and your photos are really, really strong, really strong. And yet that wasn't what I was remembering after I saw your post. I was like, who is Belinda? Was that one of the person's names that you mentioned? Was it a Belinda? It was Bridget.
It was Blair.
Blair. I'm like, yeah. Now who is Blair? And then I started looking in the picture, like, is Blair in the picture? Is like, I didn't know what Blair was, who Blair was. I think you there was another cryptic message about letters to heaven and not having access to letters to heaven. I didn't understand any of that. I saw what I saw and it resonated with me. And that's what I wanted people to feel from your work. And so thank you for sharing that you adjusted during the homework assignment, made those adjustments, and it's really much stronger. And I use this as a pink couch tip moment. Here's another one. But you shouldn't be afraid of failure. Failure is going to happen, and not that you failed. Well, you did kind of fail in terms of like not doing what you were supposed to do, but failing isn't bad if you use the opportunity to learn what lesson can be learned from this failure that can help you accomplish the goal that you set out to. And so when you said you went back and you corrected, did you find that you were getting more input or feedback from people just on your work, or no?
I was getting more hits on it. And then just in my mind is I kind of took myself out of it, because a lot of what I was writing has been so emotion based.
Yes.
What's been going on, and really only people that really, really know me understand what I was saying. And that's what I was not supposed to do.
Yeah.
So when I went back, I kind of took myself out of the situation and just kind of looked at it like, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. So I would just, take it out. And I will say to you, after 20 some years in the car business, there is not much that can rattle my cage. So when you need to come at me, bring it. I am not offended.
Okay. I'm just a big advocate. I want your work to speak for itself. So your homework assignment was also to pick 2 to 3 photojournalists and follow their social media pages. So were you able to do that?
Yes. I picked 3. One was Anastasia Taylor Lynn. She does work for New York Times, Time Magazine, and Nat Geo. And then Gabrielle Gallimpierde, she does for Nat Geo. And then Desiree Rios, she does Times, the New York Times, CNN, and The Guardian. And when I went through their social media, lo and behold, they averaged about 8-9 times in a 2-week period. So like what you were saying, imagine that.
Imagine that. Imagine that. Oh my gosh. Who knew? Cheryl. Okay, good. So any lessons that you learned from their work itself, the work itself, were there any lessons that you picked up?
You know what? Yeah. It made me think about Eddie Adams, that if a picture makes you laugh, makes you cry, just has that response, that is the photo to post. And when I go back through my work, it's like, I have it. So quit trying too hard. Just put it out there.
Thank you. I think you just summed it up. I felt like the content that you were crafting to go along with your photos, it made me feel as if you were trying too hard.
Yeah.
And the photos were powerful enough. So that's a really incredible lesson to learn. So great job.
Yeah. And you know what? It also made me think in getting my start into what I'm doing now. When I shot combat sports, there were no captions, just the pictures of those moments, the fighters in the heat of battle, the emotion. That's it. And as I'm going through and I have photographed life as it is now and continuing, that's it.
That's it. So it sounds like you found a formula that's working. You had talked about your portfolio when we first started this, that you had a portfolio where you could send people to look at your work. I really need you to hone that, because you really need to start making sure that is in tip-top shape, so that you can start sending that out along with that resume. Did I get your new and improved resume, by the way?
I thought I sent it to you. I'll do
Send it to me again. But because now, we're where the metal meets the pedal. You've got to get a job, and it's really a tough time. But there are so many stories that are being told right now. I think you're hitting it out of the ballpark with your images. And so, yes, absolutely, get your portfolio up and running. Do you have a website?
The one that is through the college, but not my own per se. So I need to do that.
Okay, so the portfolio and the website, over the course of the next 3 weeks, you've got 3 weeks.
Okay.
Working on that. It doesn't have to be, again, a fancy website. You can use any of the, I think it's called Wix. Really easy to develop website. All you need is a place for people to go to see your images. Not a lot of captions, not a lot of information, just the images. I sent you a website of a young woman whose website is so phenomenal, it gives me goosebumps. So
it's amazing.
It really is. And there's no reason yours can't be that way too. So your portfolio and a website, that's your homework assignment. Develop those for over the course of the next 3 weeks. So when we talk with you again, you can give me something to click on to see all of your work.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, good luck to you. Stay safe. Thanks, Jacqueline.
Check out the full Live from the Pink Couch web series and keep up with all 5 mentees' progress on powerfulpenny.com. This has been a Powerful Penny LLC Pink Elephant production.